Hello, hello. Welcome to both Created in Awe and the Rust Covered Cottage by Christina here on Facebook. I am streaming to both pages because we have a very special project today. It is a spring door hanger that is part of a collection Christina and I work on together called Farmhouse Charm inspired by Joey, full of all kinds of wood kits that run the gamut from whimsical to farmhouse to, rustic, and I don't know. We just do all kinds of things in this collection, and this kit itself, you can actually really make it however you want. So I'll show you how I'm going to do it, and I want to hear how you will do it. So if you're catching the replay, please let me know you came by and give me your thoughts and your questions when we get to the end. If there are pieces of information that you just didn't quite get or I didn't cover very well, definitely let me know that. And if you're coming in live, say hi, because we are live streaming today to both pages, and I am going to get it pulled up on both. I was getting a piece of information here from the website so that you guys could get to the kit and all of the kits, and it was, for some reason, my computer was really getting hung up on things. So there it is. Let me grab it. And then I'm going to get both of the pages pulled up on my screen so I can see both sets of comments. There it is. Right? Did it copy? Copy. Okay, here we go. Let's now move over here to Christina's page, Rust Covered Cottage by Christina. She has an older page that doesn't have the words by Christina on it, and that is no longer under her control. So don't follow that page anymore. If you have it in your little library of pages, get rid of it. This right here is the page you want to be on, and we are going to get it pulled up. Oh, we do have good sound, and I am going to get the link in the comments. So say hi if you're here. I'm not seeing comments on Christina's page. Talk to me. Let me know everything looks and sounds okay for you. I am an affiliate to Christina, so if you make purchases on the links that I provide, it does help me out. And of course, anything you order from her site helps her out as well. So, and hopefully, if she gets a chance to pop in, she might be able to pin that comment to the top, hopefully. All right, let me get over to my page and refresh the screen so I can see you guys. I know it takes a minute here. And because we weren't able to use Business Suites, I wasn't able to flip the screen, so words are going to be backward. But you can at least, the only words you're going to have to read are hello spring. So hopefully that's not a problem. Let's see. Oh, I see people talking on my page. Let me put the kit in here and get it for you guys. I did tag both Christina's page and my page in the description. So whichever one you're looking at, you can go ahead and go follow the other page as well. Alrighty, now let's get that off the screen so I can... Okay, it just takes me a minute to be able to get everything situated. Okay. Yes, I see you. Be Social. I see you over on her page. Yay, that's working. Thank you guys. Talk to me if you can. I know that a lot of you get to watch while you're maybe doing other things and you are multitasking, and I just so appreciate that you're able to come by. Okay, we've got both on the page. Hello, Miss Sheila. How are you? I see Candy and Carla. How are you? I see Edie and let's see, Michelle's here, Gail's here, Linda's here. You guys are awesome. Vicky's here too. Brenda, hey, I'll show you my shirt here in a second. Patricia, and thank you for sprinkling, Brenda. Hey, Chris, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Let's see, Bobby. Oh, that's right. I forgot you changed the name of your page. That's a cute name. I like that. Oh, the t-shirt is from Jordan's Summer T-shirt Project, I think is the name of the Facebook page. Be kind, shirttoeveryone.com is the website. So she is an autistic young adult whose family has created a business for her to learn business and social and societal skills, and it's just doing amazing. You can see the progress she's made. So I love this shirt. I gave my daughters this one for Christmas. I did that last year too, a different one that they have. And then my husband and the boyfriends got, this year they got a camo design shirt that said "Be kind." So anyway, that's just something I like to do. No affiliation there. And riding your stationary bike, Brenda. Hey Barb, how are you? And Pam is here also. Awesome, 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 awesome sauce. Okay, let's do this. This is the Spring Tulips door hanger. That's the link that I put in the comments, and it's also featured. If you want to open it up through a feature link, that lets you watch us craft while you shop her site. And you can get to all of her kits there. If you want to look more at the Farmhouse Charm by Joey collection, it's in the menus as a category, and you can look at all the kits we have put together, or you can just scan through. You can search by keyword, you know, if there's a certain if you just want spring, if you want bunnies, if you want carrots, if you want spindle projects, if you want door hangers, just search for whatever you like, or just look at everything. She has hundreds of kits available. And I feel like hundreds of bottles of paint and paste in front of me to choose from. I was working on color choices. I have some of them decided, and you're going to help me with others. So we're going to put it together after we get it painted. I want to show you the pieces, and we'll just get it put together after we're done. So what I think is the most adorable part of this is the little pot of tulips that is going to go in the middle. This is like the focal point of it, I think. And there are multiple pieces. Now it is just cutouts of tulips, but the way you attach it, you can fill in the color so you can really get some bright color on your tulips. But you've got a little, I guess it's like a terracotta pot and a little tie that goes around it. So I'm taking this kind of apart so you can see how it goes together. There's an extra little piece that goes on the top for the top rim of the pot, and it just gives it more dimension. So those are the tulips. You have the words for Hello Spring. I know it's going to be backward for you, but I love the font choice on this. So hello, and then you've got spring. So you've got some real whimsical kind of fun options going with that. And oh my goodness, get everything out of your hand, Joey. Then you have a cute. This could be the focal point if you prefer. Oh, it's got a little piece taped to it. Let me take that off. This is the little dot for the word spring over the eye. I don't want to lose that. Christina always packages everything up so nicely so you can really see how it's going to go together. And little pieces like that, she's not going to let you lose. So she had that taped on here. And you have a little birdhouse. Now don't worry about this down here. This is part of the other cutouts, will fit in here like a little puzzle piece, but it's a sweet little birdhouse is going to go on it. And then you have this is part of what goes in that, two pieces of like laurel kind of greenery that add to the whole frame. You have a couple of pieces that are going to be braces on the back of it. So you've got 3 pieces here that we'll put on the back of the door hanger. And then this is what I call a shiplap style, and Christina, I think that's what she calls it too, or plank style of door hanger. And this is the back of them, just so you can see the shape. You've got your pieces that go together to make your door hanger, just like so. And you've got the holes in the top piece. You don't have to use those if you don't want to. You could cover them up with a nice big bow or something like that. But this is how it's going to piece together. Now this is the back. That's why the wood looks a little bit wonky. I'm going to show you the front. I didn't want to show you the front yet because I had already painted it. So this is how it will come for you, is plain, except it does have some scored, engraved lines on it to show you where your pieces are going to go. So that's going to be helpful. I see people popping in on Christina's page. Brenda popped over, and Nancy, hello, hello. Thank you for sprinkling, Constance. How is the live video work go? Oh, I am very slow, very slow. I am going to go through and really pick and choose which videos I'm going to keep. I'm not keeping everything. I'm not going to worry about having every single live video I've ever made out there for you. If you want to scan through some of my videos, go to the videos tab on my page and you can kind of scroll through, and if there's anything that you want to make sure you get to see again, I believe we have plenty of time for it, because I have not gotten a notice from Facebook that has started my 90-day warning. So I think I have longer than 90 days, but go through and scan, and if you think there's something that I really should repost on the page, I can do that. And then I'm also saving things over to YouTube. Hello, Debbie, Chriselda. I'm glad you guys could be here. Is that Nancy on both pages? Tina's here. Awesome. Okay. I hope you guys are having a good day. Let's get started. Okay, so I already painted the background so we could get going, and I chose Pool from Waverly as the color. I know this is a very bright light right up here. I can't seem to keep it up high enough. It wants to like fall down real close. So it looks very, very light. It's a little bit brighter than it shows on the screen. So Pool color is the background, and you can already see, you see the little etched lines, the engraved lines for the word hello, and then this is part of the greenery, and is, whoops, that's actually the bottom. I got to get them in the right order. Here we go. So the greenery, the little laurel leaf continues there. Excuse me. And then you've got an etched line here for the top of the birdhouse, and then the bottom section finishes the other laurel as it pieces into the birdhouse, and then you get to decide how you want your tulips to rest, where you want it to be. Okay, your little pot of tulips. And the word spring is going to fit wherever you decide to put it. So we've got this almost done. I did Pool on the background because I am going to come back and give it like a little bit of a whitewash. I want it to almost look like blue sky with some clouds going through it, just a hint of clouds. So we're going to go ahead and do a dry brush. I'm going to use a fan brush. You can get these individually in your art section of your craft stores or Walmart, or if you get like a pack of paint brushes, sometimes they have a fan brush. This one is very sparse. It's not a solid fan, it's more of a sparse fan because I do the dry brushing. Okay, so I'm going to take each of these pieces separately and we're going to get going. Hello, I saw Miss Frances pop in, and Letitia, how are you guys? We're not going to use a bright white. I am going to go ahead and use, know what? I changed my mind. No, I am going to use plaster. It's a little bit more of a creamy color, and it'll give me like a soft tone, not a super bright white. I may use a bright white on something else. Ooh, there we go. I've got crusties, so I'm going to hold it over my trash can to open it up and let the crusties fall in there. And we are going to do a couple things. I'm probably going to use just the paint that's in the lid to grab hold of with my paintbrush, and then I'm going to dab some of it off. I could use my cardboard, but then I may end up dragging something through that paint. So I'm just going to use this little tray. So I dab it in there, and I get a decent amount on there, not a ton, but then I'm going to kind of offload a lot of it. I'm working it into the bristles, but I'm offloading, so there's not a ton on there. And we're just going to lightly go across, and I will probably go a little heavier in a few spots just to make it look more like a cloud, and I'll go around the edges too. So we're just going to, I always start very light, and then I add, because I'm just never sure how heavy the paint is going to look the first time I go across. So it's coming off really, really light, so I might go a little bit heavier. But I am doing the whole thing. I am not just trying to paint clouds, so to speak. I'm getting from the tray And if I turn my brush this way, I'm going to get a more wide application with less paint going across. If I turn my brush this direction, I'm going to get a heavier application in a more concentrated spot. So I am going to go a little bit heavier just randomly. Let's get some more paint on there. And I am going side to side, so it looks like the clouds, if it's a cloud-like look that I'm going for, which trying to, are going across. So I am going to go a little bit heavier in this area because I've got a nice heavy spot there and there. And I've got one going right here and here, just there. Okay, so you can see it's, I wish I could get rid of that bright. Can you see the strokes in between? The light strokes of the paint and then the heavier. See, it looks like clouds going a pie. I feel like Bob Ross right now. Getting some wispy little happy clouds. My husband's been watching Bob Ross lately. I mentioned like a week or so ago, he's decided to take up painting, which I am not very well versed in. So I don't even try to help him with it. I've taken a couple of lessons from my friend Teresa over at Jeremiah Dreams, and I'm not very successful. It's been fun, and I enjoyed what I have made with her, and I should do more, but I haven't had time. So if you want painting lessons, go see Teresa. She can help you out. I like that. I think I want a little bit more in here. That's gonna be behind my birdhouse now that I think about it, so I don't need it there. What do you think? You like it? Is Christina on yet? She said she might be able to hop in. She has kind of a busy evening going. You're gonna do painting classes tonight to freehand paint. Oh, now when you say freehand paint, are you painting or are you saying like freehand lettering? That's what my husband is doing, is he's watching the Bob Ross stuff to try to learn some paint techniques. I'm gonna go a little bit heavier here. Okay, let's see how this compares, because this is going to be right up next to it. Okay, let's balance this out just a little bit. Have a heavier one here. I like that. I just don't want all of my little clouds to be like perfectly even. Oh, I think that looks good. I may put one right here going off the edge. Let's do that. Awesome. Okay. Now I am going to go around the edges. Let's see if I can get enough paint going with this paintbrush. It's not very heavy, but it's going to help define the planks of wood. Got a lot right there. Hold on. There we go. I don't think I like it with the fan brush. I am instead going to use a squeegee. We're going to get a heavier line across that bottom edge. This is a squeegee from Magnolia. You can use like a, you could use a sponge. You could use a regular paintbrush on the flat side. You could use a palette knife, and I'm just going to drag along the edge. And it's going to be uneven. It's going to be heavier in certain spots. I've done this with black to give things a distressed look, and I'm choosing white to give it more of a contrast. Rather than a distressed look, we're going a little more bright and whimsical. So I want the plaster color, or you could go bright white. I'm going to set that down to dry right over here, and we're going to keep going through all these pieces, and then I'll show it to you. I want that to get a chance to start drying. You could skip this step if you don't care to outline the outside edges. I just really like to have these edges more defined. I'm not getting enough paint on here. There we go. Okay. I'm trying not to touch any wet paint. These little fan brush marks should be dry, but I'm going to be pretty careful. And I could actually paint the whole edge, but I don't think I will this time. I don't think it's not that big of a deal to me. Now it's going over there. I've got 2 more pieces. If I go a little more slowly, then I can concentrate on where that paint is being applied. I'm trying to go too fast. This is a common problem of mine. I tend to just whip through things because I know you guys don't need to be here all day long. You have other things to do. Maybe you're exercising like Brenda. Maybe I know Christina is cooking dinner for herself and her husband and her granddaughter. Or I don't know if it's for her granddaughter or if she's just taking care of her granddaughter at the same time. Okay, that's that bottom piece. We'll do this one. It's pretty dry. Okay, I have loaded this up, so I'm going to go slowly and try to get, and then I'm going to show you this one. And I'm going to go back and check the first one to make sure I've got enough on there before we put this paint up and move on to the next thing. I'm so excited for how that I just love tulips for spring. And so this kit just really spoke to me. Okay. So, can you see? Yeah, there you go. You can see the edges all the way around. Okay. All the pieces are like that. I'm going to compare to this one that I did to make sure we've got, yeah, we're looking pretty good. Okay. Let's let that dry. Have a place to set these to dry. Oh, right here. Sometimes my craft table space is a little bit limited because of all the other projects that I've had going. So, have to look for places. Uh-oh, my video froze. Did anybody else freeze? Let me see. Okay. It's back. It might have just been my computer. Tell me if yours is freezing at all. Alrighty, we are moving on. I'm going to get some water in this so that it's easier to clean later. Now, hello spring, the words, pretty easy. These are going to be yellow. And while I'm here, let's just use this piece of tape. I'm going to flip the ends of it upside down to stick to this cardboard, and I'll flip my little dot over to the front side, and then I want to go ahead and do tape. Oh, wait a minute, where did I put my tape? I used it somewhere. Where did I put it? Is it downstairs? It might be downstairs. I'm gonna have to use masking tape, which is a little bit stickier. So I will be careful as I remove my letters. But it's this, you can, same concept, flip the ends over, stick it down to the cardboard, and put my letters on it. Make sure the letters are all going the right way. And then spring is all together, so I can Not worry about that. All right, maize here. Not frozen for Cindy. Good, good, Gail. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. We're going to grab a small-ish sponge dauber for, do I have enough of those over here? I thought oh, there's some more. They're kind of hiding from me over here. There we go. Some of them are pretty beat up. I'm going to have to go down in the bottle to get some more paint. It does not take very much. You want to get it on your sponge, and usually I use the lid to dab it to kind of thin it down, so I just have a light coat on my sponge. It's not super heavy. And then I will dab, dab, dab until most of the paint is applied. And then I will do just a gentle little swipe going along the lines of the letters to smooth it out. That makes sure I've covered everything, and it gets rid of the lumpy texture from dabbing it. Well, that's a lot. There we go. Okay. And it goes so much faster. There's something crusty in here. Sorry, I've got a paint crusty in the way. There we go. It just goes on so much faster with the sponge dauber rather than a paintbrush. I tend to really struggle with the paintbrush on the thin lines of these wood kits. So if you're not familiar with Christina's wood kits, these from our collection and the majority of her website are cut out of 1/4 inch thick birch. It is not MDF. It is actual wood. It gives you a gorgeous, sorry, it's making noise, wood grain if you decide to stain it, or if you do like a wash, a light wash color over it rather than a heavy full coverage paint job like we're doing. Oh, don't forget the dot. Like we're doing here. If you want to see the wood grain, this is going to be perfect for you. And her kits range from large door hangers like we have right here. I even have one of my big kits right here. This fence piece is one of her kits. And I mean, so you can get a nice big display piece like this, or you can get little bitty kits that are like for tiered trays or for your bookshelf or something. She has a huge selection. So make sure you check her site. I'm going to put my glasses on to make sure I didn't miss any spots before we set this aside to dry. A couple of spots I want to get a little bit better coverage on. Otherwise, it's good. It's good. We've got all these done, and this is all I'm planning to do in the yellow. I want these words to really stand out. We're going to do a lot of different colors today. So, I think while we're working, I think I'm going to leave these here to dry, and I'm going to flip this around. So next we can go ahead and do this greenery. No, we'll do that in a minute. I'm going to do the little tie that goes on the pot, and we're going to stain it. So I've got my antique wax here, and honestly, I think I'm just going to finger paint. I just want a little bit, well, a little bit more than that maybe. And we are going to, I just thought, you know, it doesn't bother me to get this stuff all over my fingers, so I'm just going to finger paint rather than getting another sponge out for this little bitty piece. Does anybody else finger paint with their projects? I thought this might make it look like jute or just twine that's tied around it. So and I can smooth it out. You can't really do it as well with paint to get the thin coverage. The antique wax really does that. So there's that. Looks just a little bit like string. Hey there, Marie with Copeland's Creations. I am going to clean it off my fingers so I don't get that stain on everything else now. Okay. And my fingers are really, really wet now. Here's my towel. All right, so let's move on. I am actually going to do the birdhouse last because I haven't decided on the color for the birdhouse. Everything else I've decided on. So I'm going to bring in the tulips now because I'm doing the same color of green on the stems of the tulips as I'm doing on these laurel pieces. And I got myself a new one. Normally I'm using Waverly's color called Moss, but I want this to be a little bit brighter. So I got Fern. You can't read it because it's backwards, but I got Fern from Waverly, and I think that's going to be a really nice bright spring green color. I don't want a super big. Here's some little ones. We're going to go ahead and use another small paint dauber, sponge dauber for this so that I can get in between some areas. So let me get the tiny spots first. Let's just get up against there. Now, as we go up against this part of the pot, it has a piece that's going to cover all of that. So if I get a little bit of green on the pot, it's okay. I didn't really want it on the flower, but we'll work with that. We may have to give that an extra coat in that spot of the color we're going to put on the flower. I'm going to surprise you with that. Okay, so we've got the base of those stems. Now I'm going to go, you can see, now I'm going to go right up to the base of the flower and start and work my way down so that we don't have paint on the flower itself. Ideally. I am not a perfectionist, guys. We just do the best we can, and we can, see, just got it on there. We can adjust. We can paint over it if we need to. We'll let that dry. Now these thicker leaf outlines, I'm going to dab and do my dab and swipe. Get right up to the base. Here we go. A little bit more. You could use a paintbrush if you want to be more precise. But there we go. We've got all of our little leaves and stems. Oh, I'm sorry. I've got, for some reason, notifications popping up on my screen. I should have turned those off. Okay, that's going to set aside, and let's do these. Just keeping all of the green color the same. You could add in some extra little swoosh marks for some more whimsy if you want. I've done that before. In fact, I think it was on a spring door hanger last year, different style with an old truck that she still has on the website, and I love. We added some little whimsical marks to that. Completely up to you. I love to see your creations, by the way. I know that Pam, I think Pam, if you're still on here, she sent me some pictures the other day of projects she's made, and I absolutely love seeing those. And you can post them in, I know for the Wood Kits, Christina has a group that you can post those in, and I'll see if we can get a link to that added to the comments or even in the description afterward. And then I have a group called the Crafters Studio, and if you want that link, I can come back and get that for you. So just tell us if you want Christina's group or if you want my group, and we'll come back. That's it. Green is done. That's all I'm doing with the green. So that big jar, I hope I end up using that fern green a lot. I like it. Isn't it pretty, Brenda? Okay, so we've got these done. let's go ahead and get these out of the way. The pot. Make sure I don't have any green paint on my fingers. We'll do the pot, and then we're going to do the flowers. The pot I have, where did I put it? There it is. I don't have the terracotta color from Waverly. I think that's the name of it. This curl is driving me bonkers. I'm sorry. I don't like messing with my hair while we're live, but so the closest I have is called Intense Rust. It's actually a paste color from Magnolia, and I'm going to use that for my terracotta pot. It's pretty close. It's a little bit darker, but I think it's going to be fine. So let's get some of this. Got a nice clean sponge, and same process. Let's get it onto the sponge, and we are going to dab. Really, the bottom half is what I'm going to worry about here, and then I'm going to grab that other piece to do the top. Now I'm making this really thick. This paste is coming straight out of the jar. If you want it to be thinner, you could put it into a little dish and add some water to it to thin it down. But I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and get this nice and solid. And this is the piece that goes across the top. So let's do that as well. I think this color is going to be perfect, don't you think? Definitely looks terracotta to me. Oh, you know what I want to do? I just realized. I want to give it more of an aged look on the pot, so we're going to add a little bit of white, like it's got some, what is that, like calcium deposits on it. Make sure I haven't missed any spots underneath the rim. So we'll let that dry. That won't take very long. And we'll come back in maybe with the fan brush, or maybe more of a sponge is what I want to do for that. I'll get a sponge to it, so we'll let that dry. All right, now I'm doing the flowers. And the flowers I am not going to change on. I want to use our brand new Pink Harmony. It's also a paste from Magnolia. If you want to use any of the paste colors that you have from Magnolia, you can on as paint. And if you aren't if you don't have Magnolia paste, you could use any paints that you like. I just don't have this color in the Waverly, and I love this one so much. Isn't it really? It's just such a pretty coral color, a pinkish coral. So I'm going to get a small dauber, and we are going to paint up the flowers. So we're going to dab. Ooh, I've got a lot on there, so I'm going to go ahead and dab this flower too, right down to the base. I may have to go back over the spots that got green. Okay, now I can do my little swipe to smooth out that texture. That's a lot, so we're going to go around. And be careful if you get close to one of the leaves on the side. You may want to put a piece of painter's tape over it or something to keep you from getting this flower color on it. Okay, and I'm going to get the base. That's covering up the green pretty well. I'll come back and check for any spots I've missed. Let's go ahead and turn this guy around. Now we are going to do something to the back of the door hanger behind the tulips. Now, and it's optional. You could leave the tulips as just an outline if you want, but I really want them to show pretty bold, so we're going to fill them in after we get it glued on. Oh, that's so pretty. Okay, and there's our little tulips. I just think it's a perfect color for tulips. I mean, you could go with any color you want. You could go with yellow. You could go with blue. You could go with pink, purple. I mean, gosh, so many options on tulips. Whatever your favorite is, that's going to be it for that right now. And that can go in the water. Let's see. That's it. That's it. So let's go ahead and let's see if our, yeah, this is dry enough. We can do our little sponge effect. What sponge am I going to use? I don't seem to find my craft sponge. It must be in the bathroom because I've used it recently. So let's do instead, because I want it to be a little bit, I don't want to use a sponge because that's going to give me a really solid application of the paint. And I don't want to use a paintbrush because it's going to give me brush strokes, or a regular paintbrush. So let's try it with a chip brush. All right. I'm going to go ahead and use the same little tray. Shake this up. Hello, Joy. Guys, I know that it is a slow day. Feel free to ask questions if you need to. If I miss them, I will come back and answer. Okay, so we're going to load up. I'll go ahead and load up the brush. Whoa. Well, there's not a whole lot there. Let's offload and then kind of work it around the bristles. Okay. Not too much. Okay, so I've really got it worked in the bristles. I'm trying to get that glob thinned down, not so heavy. And we're going to work around the outside edges first. Let's pick this up. So I'm going to kind of tap. Okay. Don't want it to be too heavy. Okay, and then we're just going to bring up on the edges, make it heavier. I may have to brush some more of this off. So let's go ahead and do the edges of the top piece because I feel like I've got too much paint on here to go across it just yet. I would have used, the fan brush probably would have worked better. So let's grab a paper towel and take off. I want this to be super light. Whoop. And I'm just going to drag across. Get it heavy in certain spots, especially around the outside edges. Get a little more paint on here. There you go. So you've got your kind of distressed pot. Let's go up here at the top edge, and then we're going to go around this guy too. Let's get a little bit more paint on here. I like all the edges to have the heaviest. Oh, it's going to go across as well. Whoop. I don't want it to look like brush strokes. I want it to look a little bit. In fact, let's come in and just dab and drag some spots. There we go. Let's see which way. That's the top. Oh, that looks good. I really like it now that I put it together. Really like it. What do you think? Looks a little bit like an old pot now, right? All right, now we have all of that painting done. Let's hold on to this. I don't need the white. Oh, am I matching my shirt? I didn't mean to do that. That's funny. That's not the first time I've done that though. All right, let's set these aside and bring the, oh, no. Yeah, we're gonna glue everything together and then decide on the birdhouse, okay? So this is gonna trade out with the shiplap or plank pieces. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead, actually, let's just put it straight on the table and make sure we get it in order. There we go. Whoop, nope, that goes on the bottom, this goes on the top. You can see the etch lines much better now that it's all dry, so you know how it's going to go together, because you got your outline of your birdhouse, the word hello, and your little sprigs of greenery. Now, and I do like the fact that it's not meeting up perfectly. I kind of almost want to separate them. I think we will. So we're going to flip everything over, just left to right, or throw it across the table if you want to. Whatever works best for you. Left to right is going to keep everything in the right order. And I am going to just give everything a little bit of a gap. Not a big one. But I want the ends lined up on the left and right ends. There we go. Just a little bit of a gap. Now we add our frame pieces. Okay, these are going to go around the outside border, and now I did not see this in the instructions, but I think this is also supposed to add some stability to the back, so I'm going to glue it right across the middle, in between the middle pieces, and we're going to use a combination. My good old Tight Bond Thick and Quick as a wood glue, lay that on its edge, and my Stick Fast Thick. I don't know where my needle went. Oh, we'll have to get a new one out. I have it floating around. Oh, there it is. Never mind, I see it. I use a needle to clean out my nozzle because it tends to get, there we go. It tends to get clogged. Brenda, you're catching up on crafting. Your cold and meds have drained you. Oh my gosh, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. It's a struggle right now, isn't it? Let me go ahead and do this middle piece. Either side, it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to do kind of a, I don't want to go across the middle section because I've got a gap. So we're going to put some wood glue above and below, and got too much on there, so let's thin that down. And then the Stick Fast is going to be kind of next to it and toward the ends. But again, I don't want to open up to that gap. I want it that to be free and clear, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm just going to press straight down, and what's going to happen is that Stick Fast Thick glue is going to set, I was going to say harden, but set quickly, like within 10 or 15 seconds, and it's going to give you that initial quick hold, and then the wood glue will take time to dry after that. All right. Okay, that is set. Now we're going to do the same thing on this guy, and I know the ends need it. I'm using more of the wood glue than I am of the Stick Fast. Just getting an idea of where the glue is going to go so that we leave the gaps, right? Got it here and here. That's pretty good. Okay, now the Stick Fast is going to go kind of near these spots to give me that initial hold. I hope I've avoided those gaps. I don't think I did fully. I think but that's okay. We will clean out any excess that happens to ooze through or show through on the front. Oh goodness. And don't put it over the holes at the top. Don't close off those holes. Give it some time to set. Hold it down, because all of these different pieces are going to want to move. Okay, give it another few seconds to set up. All right, that one's good. Now, try this again. Let's get the two ends. And I'll put glue right there and right here. There we go. That's going to be better. The others I put way too far apart, or too big a gap. Whatever, too big a swath of glue. There we go. And no, it's not making a perfect shape, just as long as you are on all of the pieces. Let me check my gaps. There. Press it down. Hi there, Joanne. We are doing a door hanger from our collection with Christina. I did put the name of it in the description, and you can find a featured link as well as a pinned link in the comments. I don't know if Christina has been able to pop in and pin the link on her site, on her page, but it's on my page pinned. Okay, I'm going to give it just a few more seconds to set. Yep, I pulled that up. Put that one down. I think I'm going to grab some clamps. These are moving around on me. I'm going to clamp right there. Why did that? Oh, because it's got a clamp. Oh my goodness, Joey, where's the rest of your clamps? There they are. Get them all clamped before it dries. You have to bring them all up. This one doesn't seem to want to reach. I may have to get a bigger clamp. Or down here. Clamp the top one. Okay, we'll get it. Those are done. 2, 3, I've got 4, and I've got a big one if I need it. Let's come back over here, and I dropped one. Let's do the big one right down here. This should be. That first, this one up here is glued, but I'm going to go ahead and clamp it just because it might get stressed by having the, I don't have any bigger ones anymore. It might get stressed by having the other clamps going around it. Will that reach? Barely. I wonder if I may have more clamps down there in my drawer, but now I'm afraid to go look for it. Okay, let's go ahead and flip it over, because I think the clamps are going to keep everything where it needs to be. I can't clamp this, so I'm going to tape it. Painter's tape is going to be better, but hold it from underneath. It's glued to that one, but this one it didn't quite stay on. I'm sitting there trying to remember where I put that tape. I think I took it downstairs and I don't know why. But I can't find it up here. So, push from underneath and get that attached. Okay. I think we can work with it now. We've got it. All right. And that, it should set up here in just a couple of minutes. Woo! Got it. Get everything put back up before I lose track of it all. Water in my tray. And as we glue to the front, that's going to help stabilize it as well. So, just as a placeholder for now, I'm going to put the birdhouse because I'm trying to decide on the color. Let's set this temporarily. This is our little puzzle piece into the birdhouse. This one goes up here. That's going to go on the pot. The word spring down here. I'm going to pull the letters for hello off of this tape carefully. Carefully. And we can get hello in place. And I don't want to forget the I in spring. Okay, the dot for the I. So hello spring is going to go right there. Oh, it's so cute. Okay. Let me show you how we're looking. Isn't it adorable? All right. So I won't be gluing everything down while you're here except the pot because I'm going to paint inside these flowers. But I need to glue these pieces on the pot and then get the location. So while my door hanger itself is drying, the glue, we're going to do this. Doesn't actually probably need the wood glue because it's not very heavy. But we're going to go ahead and use it. This goes right, matches up with all the edges at the top of the pot. There we go. I'm going to hold it down, and that stick fast needs to grab hold. You kept trying to figure out what the spacers were. Do you have this kit or do you have one like it? Because several of her door hanger kits have those spacers. The brackets for the back. Whoops. There we go. It keeps sliding on me. Joey, don't make it slide. Pay attention to what you're doing. All right. That's good. Now the string. There it is. I'm just going to do stick fast on this. I'm just going to dot around all of it. It doesn't have to have a solid coat. You can see I just dot around it. Can you tell? I don't know if you can tell. So let's flip it over. And it goes right underneath. Underneath the rim of the pot. Get my finger stuck to it. All right, so there's our pot put together. And now I'll get the placement figured out. That clamp's in the way for now, but I'll get that figured out. So the color of the birdhouse I need to figure out now. Let's get the lids on these glues until we're ready to use them again. I think pink, especially seeing these pink clips, I'm thinking pink and a white roof. I would go blue, but we've already put blue back here. So this is the pink I have out, or, yeah, that's pretty much the pink I want. It's like a bubblegum pink almost. It's called French Rose and it's chalk paste. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm not going to move this. I'm going to leave it here. So we're going to be painting this. Let's put it on the tape. And I can set this down because that's all dry. You haven't gotten, oh, you can't decide. I see. It is hard to decide, isn't it? Let's get a sponge dauber. Get another one. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Get some of this. It won't take much. Now, I am not going to go heavy where we have these lines. I'm going to go, well, I'm going to try not to go heavy. I could have thinned down my paste so that those lines would show a little bit better. I can clean it out here in a second. I'll make sure I get all of this painted with my paste. There we go. There. Oh, such a cute pink color, especially for spring. Now I'm going to take another stick. You see the little shiplap lines? I don't want those to have heavy paste in them. So I am going to drag, well, maybe. And clean them out. There we go. That usually works because this paste will take just a minute to dry, and I can clean it out of those lines. Like I said, the other option is to use a very watered down version of your paint, and I've shown this technique before. If you need to see it, tell me. I'll get you a link to a video I did not too long ago. But what that does, you lay your paintbrush down like almost flat. That came out perfect. Look at that. Look at that. We got all those shiplap lines cleaned out. Yay! All right, now for the roof. So it keeps the paint, it almost like pools up above those lines and it doesn't settle down in them. And it's so crazy. Christina showed me that technique. You've missed the first minutes. How did I do the blue and white? Oh, that is a dry brush of white over the blue with a fan brush. Definitely go back and watch the replay because I got to show you the details on that. All right, let's get one more thing painted, the roof. Where'd my white go? Here it is. Oh, I can set this back down here. And this poor little sponge dauber, we're just going to go with it. I'm going to have to hold it together. Hold yourself together here, dude, while I go down in the jar. Hold yourself together. I don't need much. I need a little more than that, though. Maybe that's enough? Yeah. There we go. Oh, that's going to be so cute. The little pink birdhouse with the white roof. Okay, everything is painted. Except for the inside of the tulips. We're going to get to that here in just a second. All right, so let's check and see if our clips can come off. Nope, that one needs to be re-glued. That one's good. That one's good. That one's good. I'm gonna have to add some there, add some there. No. Okay, so really this one right here is the only one I have to add to, and I'll do that later. Let's go ahead and get the front glued together. No, you know what, because I'm gonna glue this piece over it. Let's go back. I'm just gonna come in here. This clip did not even hold anything. I am gonna put this little glue in the sandwich here. There. And where's my stick fast? I hid it from myself. Oh, it's right here. Let's see if I can get a little bit of stick fast. Whoop, there's coming out. Right in here. And right in here. Okay. Now, I'm going to put my big clamp right here. There. And I can still work with the rest of it. Yay, that'll work. That will work. Okay, glue. And glue. Oh, that poor lid does not even fit on there anymore. My poor glue lids. They're so sad. All the clamps out of the way. And I'm going to have to turn this around to me. And we're going to, oh, I'm not done with the glue, but I'm not going to worry about it with you guys right now. We're just going to put these pieces in place. Except I do, have to glue the pot and the tulips on so that I know where I'm painting. And I'm going to put it straight up and down right there. Let's leave spring in place. Let's go ahead and glue this guy. I'm just going to use, well, I'm going to put some wood glue on the back of this, but just stick fast on the top part. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. I know this has been a long process, but I just want to show you how, you know, this one way that you could put all this together. Okay. Okay, stick fast is going down here. And I want to make them thick enough dots that they really have an effect down here on this thick part. Now, the tulips need it pretty much on the top tip and a little bit around the flower. The only thing I'm worried about on this is making sure my stick fast is dry before I paint. Darn. This does take a minute, and because if you go to paint around it or fill it in like I'm planning to do, and there is wet paint that has oozed out, or wet glue that has oozed out, it will mix into your paint and get on your paintbrush and ruin your paintbrush and your paint. So right here. Being very gentle not to press too hard against that clamp, but I want to hold it down so that all my stick fast adheres to the boards. Thank you, Vicki Cole. Oh, thank you so much, Vicki. I think we got a Vicki on both pages. I'm going to give it another few seconds. I don't know why this stick fast seems to be taking longer to take a hold lately. Oh, this is just going to be so pretty. Yeah, it's not quite grabbing hold on some of these. Hold it a little bit longer. Pop out, pop in. Uh-oh, are we having trouble? Somebody said blue and white on something. Oh, you were asking about how I did the blue and white. That's right. Let me get the lid on here and then I'm going to check this. I think I am due for a new bottle of my Stick Fast. Hold that there. It may not stick. I may not have had that board quite situated the way we want. Let's see if we can take this clamp off, because it's really just going to press down. All right. I will show you one of the tulips. Let's just go ahead with this one out here. I don't see any glue oozing out. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the same paste, and I'm actually probably going to thin it down just a little bit with water. Oh, don't want to lose the dot. Let's get a paintbrush that will fit in there. I thought I had a small. This one's pretty small. We're going to get a little bit of this paste. I'm going to thin it down so it's not quite so thick. Just a little spritz of water. Mix the paint in it. I can do more than one layer if I need to, but now it's going to go on more like paint. If I add a little bit of water to it, it'll fill in a little bit easier in these gaps. Okay, and we're just going to fill in. Yeah, this is going to take a couple of coats because I thinned it down. Looks like too much. But that's all I'm going to do is take a little paintbrush and go right inside. Let's get some more paste. It's a little too thin. Thicken it up a little bit more. I kind of like it a little bit lighter in color than the top outline, but it doesn't have to be quite so thin. And you don't have to be super careful because you've got the raised edges of the piece on top. Now this has to get down in that crevice. There we go. Yeah, I'll give it a second coat, but that gives you an idea of how we're doing it. And this, once we get everything glued, is what our door hanger is going to look like. So let's get all these letters in place. And we'll get it all glued, and we're going to get it all painted. I'm trying to decide. I think I want the word spring to be right there. And then that's going to go here. And then here comes our birdhouse that is going to puzzle piece fit with that sprig. For some reason I can't seem to do it one-handed. There. And we get the roof on. Oh my goodness, it's so cute! And I am either going to use just some jute or get some thin, probably green ribbon to hang it with. And we'll get everything glued. What do you think? I know it's backward. I apologize. We'll get a picture of it with it all glued and done. And there's your tulip that is partly filled in. We'll give it another layer so it's going to stand out. Ah, isn't that going to be cute? I'm so happy. So if you want this kit for yourself, you can find it in the featured link or the pinned comment on my page, or I'll make sure we can get you the link over on Christina's page. It's an affiliate link, so it does help me if you make a purchase there. If you don't, if you choose not to, no worries. I appreciate you being here and thank you for your support. If you have any questions about colors or how we did this, go back and watch the replay, but also let me know. Message me or put it in the comments. So you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye.